Welcome to today's special explainer. Have you ever actually stopped to just think about the sheer power your words hold? I mean, language isn't just about passing along information, right? It's a tool of action. We use it to command, to advise, to request. And today, we are going to unpack exactly how that power is structured in what is, honestly, one of the most mechanically fascinating languages on the planet, Arabic. We're going to break down the grammar and formation of Arabic imperative verbs, showing you exactly how these linguistic commands are built, literally from the ground up.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to think about your own daily communication habits for just a second. Like, how often do you tell someone to do something? Think about it. Pass the salt, watch your step, or even politely asking a friend, hey, please tell me more. We do this constantly, seamlessly, without even feeling those grammatical gears turning in our heads. But how do you actually execute those commands or pieces of advice or requests in Arabic? Like, what is the specific mechanism that takes a totally neutral action and turns it into a direct order?
Well, that brings us to our core blueprint. In Arabic grammar, this specific tool is called fel-e-amr. The formal definition is simply a verb that signifies an order to do a specific action, an offering of advice, or a request. So this isn't just some vague concept, okay? It's a distinct, highly structured category of verbs. Whenever you encounter a fel-amr, you know immediately, boom, an action is being requested or commanded. It is literally the linguistic equivalent of a green light or a direct instruction. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Take the word ifal, for instance, which simply translates to you do. It's the foundational, classic textbook example of an Arabic command. So we've moved from the abstract definition right into a tangible, concrete piece of language. Just these few meticulously placed letters packed together carry the full weight of an instruction. It completely bypasses all that extra conversational fluff to deliver a direct point. But a word like ifal doesn't just appear out of thin air, It's carefully constructed. Which brings us to section 1, the assembly line formation of amr. Let's start treating the Arabic verb like a finely tuned mechanical object on a factory floor. So how exactly do we build one? Let's dive into this linguistic surgery step by step because we are going to construct this command from scratch. Here is the exact surgical procedure for creating a fi'l amr. Step 1. Actually, scratch that. You don't start from nothing. You start with the fi'l mudari, which is the present tense verb. You absolutely need that active, ongoing foundation to build an immediate command. Now, step 2, this is where the surgery really begins. We take the alamatay mudare, that's the specific prefix signaling the present tense, and we completely chop it off. We drop it entirely, totally severing its tie to a simple present statement. Finally, step 3, we go to the very end of our newly modified word and we freeze it. We do this by adding a sakin to the final letter. And a sakin just makes the letter completely vowelless. It strips away any lingering grammatical movement, bringing the word to an abrupt, commanding halt. So chop the front, freeze the back, and boom, you've successfully manufactured an Arabic command ready for use. Let's move to section 2, diversity of person and form, and see exactly how this builds. Because as you'll see, our newly assembled verb isn't just some blunt one-size-fits-all tool. The Arabic language is incredibly precise, meaning the fellow amr acts as this highly dynamic system of variations. To communicate accurately, Arabic actually requires you to use completely distinct forms depending on your exact target. For instance, look at the person categories we're plotting out here. We have the hazar, the second person, the person right in front of you. That's your direct face-to-face command. Then there's the ghaib, the third person, someone who isn't even physically present but whose action you're dictating. And there's even the mutakalim, the first person, for when the speaker is actively involved in the command itself. Now take those targets and cross-reference them with the voices. Maruf, the active voice where the doer is explicitly known, and majul, the passive voice, where the focus shifts entirely to the action being received. Every single one of these intersections requires a specific adjustment to our fi'l amr. You aren't just blurting out an order. You are mathematically plotting precisely who is being commanded and how the action relates to them, perfectly tailoring the verb to fit the exact social and grammatical context. It's like a giant puzzle. Now for section 3, power-ups, providing emphasis or ta'kid. How can we add absolute certainty to the command we just built? Well, what's really interesting about this next part is how we level up these commands. Because what if a simple command just isn't enough? What if you need to add undeniable certainty or extra forceful emphasis? Well, to ensure there's zero room for misunderstanding, Arabic utilizes specific suffixes attached right to the end of the R to provide that heavy emphasis.
Notice the weight difference between the two tools we're comparing here? On one side, we have the nun sakila, the heavy nun. This provides a very strong, unyielding, and forceful emphasis. It is literally the grammatical equivalent of slamming your fist on the table. On the other side, we have the nun khafifa, the light nun. This one also adds a layer of certainty and urgency, but with a slightly lighter, swifter touch. Think of them as grammatical power-ups. You just snap them onto the end of your imperative verb, and instantly, your command is amplified with unmistakable certainty and force, perfectly calibrated to the urgency of the moment.
So, what does this all mean? The absolutely crucial point is this. How did these subtle grammatical shifts completely change the power dynamics of a sentence? Think about what we just did. By taking a present tense verb, chopping off a prefix, freezing the end, selecting the exact right person, and maybe even attaching a heavy suffix, you completely transform the intent and authority of your words. Language is power, folks, and understanding the mechanics behind the Feli Amr allows us to see exactly how that power is engineered. The next time you encounter an Arabic text, look closely. I guarantee you'll be eager to spot these mechanics at work, dissecting the exact authority and emphasis behind every single command. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep analyzing.